They say all good things must come to an end, and the next series of Salvage Hunters, which we shot last year and airs in the autumn, is my last. So everyone, take care.
Join us as we uncover the heartbreaking tragedy of Drew Pritchard. Drew Pritchard's tragedy. In a 2019 interview, Drew admitted that back in 2004, they had come dangerously close to going bankrupt. Repairs ended up costing over $20,000 more than they had planned, and it nearly broke them. In 2005, Rebecca officially joined Drew in the business. She had left a high-paying fashion job in Hong Kong, where she earned $80,000 a year. But after flipping a single vase in 2004 for a $5,000 profit, she realized there was a new path for her. Her skills helped the business grow fast. By 2006, profits had risen by 30%. She could look at an old sofa, say it was worth $1,000, and sell it for $3,500. By doing restorations herself, she also saved them $10,000 a year. Things weren't always smooth. In 2007, her valuation of an item clashed with Drew's instincts, and they lost $2,000 on a deal. It hurt their trust, but they stuck together and became a strong team, appearing in over 100 episodes of Salvage Hunters. By 2010, family vacations doubled as sourcing trips. In 2009, a trip to Italy unexpectedly brought them $20,000 in profit from antiques hidden in an attic, changing everything. In 2012, a trip to France yielded ceramics worth $15,000. Even their kids joined in. Tom, at just 13, once haggled like a pro for a $500 clock. They drove more than 5,000 miles across Europe each year, mixing fun and work. Not every trip ended well. In 2013, while in Spain, their van full of $8,000 worth of antiques was stolen, but they recovered it just in time. The adventures were exciting but started taking a toll on their personal lives. In 2015, everything shifted. Drew began an affair with Amanda Thomas, who was married to his close friend Janice Bryn Thomas. They met at antique events and hid their relationship under the guise of business. Drew was still married to Rebecca, and the affair went on for 2 years. Even after Amanda tried to end it, Drew continued sending messages. By 2017, the truth came out. Other women contacted Amanda, claiming they had also been involved with Drew. She finally told her husband, who had already noticed Drew's number on her phone too many times. The scandal exploded just as Drew's fame was peaking. In October 2017, things got even worse. Janice confronted Drew at a pub called the Liverpool Arms in North Wales. Drew had sent him a text calling him a coward. That night, Janice punched Drew, breaking glasses and causing chaos. Janice was fined £1,140 and banned from all pubs in Conway. Drew didn't press charges, but he was banned from 44 pubs under local pub watch rules. His reputation took a major hit. Later that year, Drew and Rebecca divorced after 19 years of marriage. The court cited irreconcilable differences, but everyone knew it was because of the affairs. They split everything, including an old chapel they had turned into a home worth $795,000. Rebecca focused on keeping the kids stable. Drew moved to Bath to start over. In 2018, Drew admitted in an interview to the affairs. He said stress from work led him to make poor choices. People didn't see it as an excuse, they saw a pattern. After the divorce, he moved into a $1.5 million Georgian townhouse in Bath, hoping to rebuild, but more problems followed. In 2021, renovations hit a wall. Hidden rot in the house meant he spent over $100,000 more than planned. The original budget was $200,000. Plumbing and electrical work alone cost $150,000. Only a few upstairs rooms were finished. The rest of the house remained empty. In 2022, Drew closed his antique store in Conway. The shop had become a tourist spot since opening in 2017, with fans and even celebrities like Jamie Oliver visiting. But after the divorce and scandal, he quietly announced the closure and asked people not to visit anymore. It was the end of an era. Then in 2024, Drew auctioned most of his personal collection, over 620 pieces, which raised more than $800,000. A 1930 fairground boat sold for $7,000, and an item linked to Sir Malcolm Campbell's Bluebird project went for $17,000. But for Drew, it wasn't about money. Letting go of the pieces felt like letting go of old friends and parts of his life. By 2023, Drew had left Salvage Hunters after more than 200 episodes. He said he was exhausted and wanted privacy. He thanked the team, including Rebecca, who had helped him build the show from the start. How was Drew's journey to stardom? Let's find out. Drew's rise to fame. Drew Pritchard is the lively and passionate host of the long-running British TV show Salvage Hunters, which first aired on Quest in 2011 and has now reached its 19th series. Born in 1970 in the old town of Conway, North Wales, Drew grew up surrounded by creativity and curiosity. From a young age, he developed a fascination with old objects, not just because they were valuable, but because each piece seemed to hold a story from the past. By the time he was only 11 years old, Drew was already collecting and trading antiques. He soon realized that this wasn't just a hobby, it was his calling. With a background in stained glass restoration, he spent years learning how to repair and bring beauty back to broken things. More than 30 years ago, Drew decided to focus fully on architectural salvage, rescuing, restoring, and reselling forgotten treasures from old buildings and forgotten corners of Britain. Drew's sharp eye for design came from his father, who worked as a skilled sign writer. His father taught him how to notice beauty in even the most ordinary objects, and how to see both the artistic and practical value in items others might throw away. This early training shaped Drew into the antiques expert he would later become, someone who could walk into a dusty barn and spot a masterpiece hidden under years of neglect. Working from his showroom in medieval Conway, Drew became known for supplying high-end clients and collectors with unique pieces full of character. He also became a familiar face at major antique fairs such as Battersea, where his talent for negotiation and design earned him great respect. But it was television that made Drew a household name. When Salvage Hunters began in 2011, it became the perfect stage for his natural charm, humor, and deep knowledge of antiques. The show follows Drew as he travels across the United Kingdom, and sometimes beyond, searching for rare and valuable finds in barns, old mills, country estates, and antique warehouses. With every episode, viewers get to see the entire process, from discovery to restoration and resale. Though each episode seems fast-paced, Drew's work behind the scenes is intense. He often spends 8 or 9 hours at a single location, carefully inspecting every piece until he finds something truly special. What makes Drew stand out is his authenticity. He isn't acting for the cameras. Every conversation, every negotiation, and every laugh is real. He meets sellers for the first time on camera, driven by his genuine curiosity and his love for uncovering hidden history. Beyond antiques, Drew also has a lifelong passion for classic cars. His spin-off shows, Salvage Hunters, Classic Cars and the Restorers, showcase another side of his talent, his expertise with rare and vintage automobiles. Drew owns and races a 1952 Beetle and a 1967 Porsche 911, both of which reflect his appreciation for craftsmanship and history. Through his company, DP Classics, founded in 1987, he has traded and restored historic vehicles for decades. What makes Drew Pritchard so admired isn't just his knowledge of antiques or his business success, it's his personality. He connects deeply with people. So, does the public see Drew? Let's take a closer look at Drew's dream homes and public image. When fans think of Drew Pritchard, they often picture him in his natural environment, strolling through dusty barns, forgotten warehouses, or grand old estates, his sharp eyes spotting hidden treasures that others would overlook. It's the image that made him famous, the passionate antiques hunter with a love for history and craftsmanship. But over the years, there's been something else that has fascinated people almost as much as his treasure hunts: his dream home. To many, it isn't just a house. It's a powerful symbol of success and stability, a reward for decades of hard work and dedication. Drew's home has appeared from time to time in interviews and on social media. Fans have admired its rustic charm, its thoughtful design, and the way every corner seems to reflect Drew's personality, a perfect blend of old and new. For a man whose entire life revolves around objects with stories, his home feels like a living museum of his own journey, a space where the past and present meet beautifully. Cozy, authentic, and filled with character, it seems like the perfect backdrop for his life as an antiques expert. But public perception can be deceiving. When someone like Drew, who has spent years building an image of passion, knowledge, and integrity, gives fans a glimpse into his private world, they naturally assume his home must be a peaceful haven, the ideal place to unwind after long days on the road or in front of the camera. Yet, as anyone who has ever owned a home knows, reality often tells a very different story. Even the most beautiful dream homes come with challenges, unexpected repairs, financial burdens, endless maintenance, and the emotional pressure of keeping everything just right. In Drew's case, these challenges ran far deeper than most people realized. Behind the charming photographs and warm glimpses into his private life lies a much more complicated truth, one that Drew has rarely spoken about publicly. For many years, his beloved home has not been the simple success story fans imagined. Instead, it has been marked by quiet struggles and heavy responsibilities that have slowly taken their toll. Maintaining a property that serves not only as a personal refuge, but also as part of his public identity has been an enormous pressure, one that most people never see. It's easy to believe that when a public figure shows off their home, everything is perfect, but that illusion often hides the unseen reality beneath. For Drew, the house that once symbolized his achievements became something else entirely, a battleground for personal and emotional challenges. From financial strain to structural problems with the property, the obstacles he faced were far from minor inconveniences. They were deep-rooted hardships that affected his peace of mind and emotional balance. Fans who have followed Drew closely might have noticed the subtle hints, a tired expression during interviews, a passing comment about stress, or the occasional absence from public life. These were small clues to a much larger story. His home, as beautiful as it is, carries layers of memories, hopes, and heartache. It was meant to be the place where he could finally rest, surrounded by the things he loved most, after years of relentless work and travel. But instead of becoming a permanent sanctuary, it sometimes turned into a place of pain and disappointment. How did Drew's dream home change from a sign of hope into a place of constant trouble? What really happened behind those doors that no one has spoken about until now? Let's find out. Burden of fame. When someone reaches public success like Drew Pritchard, it comes with expectations, sometimes quiet, sometimes loud, and always present. Drew has spent years building a reputation as a sharp-eyed antiques expert, a man who seems to know the value of every item he touches and the stories hidden in each piece. But behind the cameras and the fame, the pressure isn't always about antiques or TV shows. It's something much more personal and heavier. Living much of your life in the public eye can be exhausting. Fans want to see only the triumphs, the stunning collections, the picture-perfect home, and the confident, cheerful personality. They imagine a life of success, happiness, and ease, and they expect the person they admire to live exactly that life. For Drew, carrying those expectations has been a constant weight. On one hand, public admiration brings pride and motivation. On the other, it brings an invisible strain, the sense that every part of life must measure up to a standard that feels impossible to meet. Behind closed doors, life is rarely perfect. Family, friends, and even Drew himself have hinted at the emotional toll of balancing a high-profile career with private challenges. The endless filming, traveling, and maintaining a public image leave almost no space for vulnerability or showing struggle. It's an unspoken rule in celebrity life: don't reveal the cracks. But cracks inevitably appear. And when they do, hiding them only makes the pressure heavier. This tension has shown most clearly around Drew's so-called dream home. What was meant to be a sanctuary, a personal space to relax and enjoy life, slowly became a symbol of the burden of expectations. Every corner, every room carries a story, a memory, a responsibility. Drew didn't just want a beautiful house, he wanted a legacy, a home that reflected the life he had worked so hard to create. Instead, it became a mirror, showing the constant